back to another episode of The Chop Shop. We are back in Baghead's room in an undisclosed location again.
Undisclosed.
I am DJ JIMA. I got Baghead here with me. And we have another couple of very special guests with us. Very excited to have these two putting out quality music on the regular, and they're here to chop it up about it. So please welcome in EaSWay and Ozer.
How very special guests. How y'all feel today?
Good, bro.
I feel like FNG is taking over.
It's a tattoo, man.
Factuals.
Episode
Just for the record,
182.
EaSWay was the first person to get an FNG tattoo.
Yup, in New York.
Right, yeah.
And still the only person to get an FNG
I was
tattoo.
gonna say that.
I don't think anybody was expecting that.
Yeah.
Nah, I just be impulsive, but I also love the gang, so
For sure.
Yeah.
it just went together, and I dropped too much money on it. Fuck Brooklyn.
Can we?
shops.
Can I ask how much the tattoo was? It over 100?
2 bills.
200?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not even
I feel like
bad compared to
tattoos, like-
tattoos, man.
Nah, fuck that, nigga. It's three letters, bro. You,
But
It literally
came out,
is.
it came out clean though. It came out crispy. It still got color in
was
it.
cutting me the whole time. I'm not even gonna hold you because he was trying to fill it in, right? And he was literally like cutting me, like
Damn.
I had some scar tissue after it, which
yeah.
kind
But I
of
mean,
made
isn't
it
that
even
the
hotter.
whole point of a tattoo though? Is to cut you?
All right,
That
You
means
get the
really,
double tattoo.
But that means you really
No.
bled for FNG.
yeah, facts.
Got blood,
sweat,
and
tears.
sweat.
Did you cry?
Nah, what the fuck?
Just blood and
Bro, I
sweat.
love that shit.
You cried when you saw it.
Yeah, pure joy.
Yeah. Well, fucking thank you for coming in. Very happy to have you here.
Thank y'all
And
for having us.
you know, obviously a big reason why we wanted you both in here at the same time is you know, your recent release of your collab project Slaponia. And so I kind of wanted to open it up by just asking you know, like Ozer, why EaSWay, and EaSWay, why Ozer? You know, how did this project come about? Was it a conscious decision from the start? You know, what was this process for you like?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Man, I was low key. I was living in LA before I'm from the city. I'm from San Francisco, but I was living in LA before I came back, and I found Ozer on the gram, I think, or on YouTube, I think.
Was it YouTube?
I think it was YouTube. I think I saw the plot video, honestly.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, damn, bro, this dude's from my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, hella close to me. Looks like me, wears glasses, too. Like, I was wearing glasses at the time.
Actually,
You know what I'm saying?
my brother.
Neither of us are wearing glasses right now. But I promise we was really in the dirt with it back in the day. So
for sure.
I tapped in with him, and I just, like, told him I fucked with his music. Went to a show that him and Stunner Man had on Geary Street, actually, randomly. Locked it in.
Hold up. What show is that?
Wait,
That's some history right there. What Ozer and Sutterman show?
This was okay.
Also, can you put the water down? It's blocking your beautiful face.
I was damn, bro. See, I'm not really good with like direct locations, but it was in a bar, right? And it was you. Stunner came out after you, bro, and I think maybe Slim performed too, maybe, but I think
It was on Geary.
Yeah, it was on Geary.
was it like
too.
in the Avenues part of the area, or was it like in?
Nah, it was a little more like closer to like Mel's, like you feel me, like.
Oh, bro, it's not the one on the corner.
39
Yeah,
I know
corner,
exactly
yeah.
what you're
There's a
talking
little
about.
stage in the corner too,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
I feel like we probably went that show
I don't know
too.
if I performed there.
I was there.
Nah, bro, you were.
No, if Slim was performing, then we were there too.
Yeah, I was there. I
You
remember that
performed.
happening.
It was like a bunch of
It
it
was
was
Yeah.
like 8
Oh,
artists.
you were
Yeah.
there
like that.
too?
I was there.
That's
Oh
crazy.
shit! I remember you had a white shirt on, huh?
I don't even remember, bro. I can't even hold
remember
you, but I
you,
probably
bro.
did. Yeah.
Crazy. Wow.
I'm trying to think. What the fuck?
You had like a white button down. I feel like. Oh, I don't know.
Sheesh, I was flying in there.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, I remember
Dressed
that.
to
That's funny.
impress.
Wow.
That's
okay.
crazy. And well, I mean, that just goes to show like how long we really been like
Yeah.
rocking this shit. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
building
Yeah.
the shit from the ground up. You feel me? But nah, he tapped in with me on the gram, and honestly, like that's when like more and more people started discovering me, and so I was like hella paranoid of who was tapping in, and it hit me like he's like. And if you know EaSWay, like, then you know how he is. He's like, "Hey, what's up, bruh? Like, we from the same neighborhood. Like, what's good? Like, I'm in LA, but let's tap in. You feel me? I'm like, what's good?" And then he had a show at Amnesia over there on Valencia. I don't think it's around anymore. And,
Is it gone now?
think so.
I don't think I've ever been inside that.
Yeah,
the
Amnesia.
clothes.
Rest in peace, Amnesia. I think they might have reopened, but I don't think they're doing shows anymore.
I know Anderson .Paak did a show there a long time ago.
Really?
I didn't even know that.
That's crazy.
Like
Damn.
A1
They
like
doing
opened
shows
up
like that?
some shit like that. It was a long time ago.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Huh?
Yeah. That's, are you serious?
No, it's Amnesia.
Oh, show. You
Stupid.
That's a
We
bar.
got Oder the comedian in the back.
Shout out to Oyday.
Yeah, I pulled up with TJG to that show, and we was passing out flyers for the show that we had with Yana and a couple other folks at Elbow Room before it closed down on Valencia.
Man.
You and Yana and Jealous guys were doing a show at
It was
Elbow.
me, Yana, and Jealous Guys.
That's crazy.
Damn.
It was we
Who else was on that show?
I don't remember. It was me, Yana, Jealous Guys.
That's crazy.
Maybe Cali. I forget.
Because I did a show with Frack at the Elbow Room.
Yeah.
Was Frack on that lineup?
Nah.
Okay.
But Frack did something after us there.
Okay, yeah.
And he had packed it
Yeah,
out.
that's
You
what
feel
he
me?
brought
Frack did
me
a show
out for.
there, and me and Jada were one of the openers. I feel like this is like a fun because like
Yeah.
the beginning of all this connecting kind of starts like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. I think a lot of people like they see F&G and then they'd be like, "Oh, like, it's just a bunch of
Right.
folks that came together and was like, let's form a collective." But
Right.
like we really been rocking with each other for a minute. You feel
Yeah.
me?
Yeah. And the more people I talk to as well, it's interesting how the picture kind of builds itself when like the trip to New York was always like something y'all talk about, right? As being
Yeah.
like a moment for y'all. But
I wasn't
Facts.
there.
like hearing all these things from even before that, like the first shows you came to, like hearing
Yeah.
these first instances from like different
Yeah.
people, you know, and then
Yeah,
like you
facts.
have different first instances with other people
Yeah,
within
yeah.
F&G, you know, so it's crazy to see it all fucking
Yeah.
come together from the Elbow Room too. Like,
Rest in
Yeah.
peace to Elbow Room,
Yeah.
man.
R.I.P. Valencia room cool, but you know
It's not the same.
have you
no.
played there since the switch?
Nah.
Well, Frack's show, his I think it was his album release or
Yeah.
something. When me and Jada had dropped Blend, we opened up for Frack, and at that point it was already the Valencia Room. So Elbow Room has been closed for like 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah.
Damn.
Is that when the Oakland one opened, or was
The
that always
Oakland,
there?
the Oakland one has been there,
That was always there. Right?
but I remember the sign for the Frisco one moved to the Oakland one, and I was like, man, they even gentrified the signs out of the city. But I'm pretty sure I think the Oakland one might be closing too. Am I wrong?
Wow.
I don't know. I could be
Is it?
wrong. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like it's not really. Every time I pass there, it's not really.
It's kind of out the way. It's tough.
Yeah.
I feel like everything in Oakland, in terms of like successful entertainment, like local shit, it all is in like downtown Oakland. You know,
yeah.
unless it's like some rave or like
Yeah.
super cutty location. But
Facts. Factual. So.
Like every venue is like on that like Legionnaire stretch.
Yeah,
you know what I
everything's
mean?
right there.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
Plaza
It's
kinda
Fox and
crazy.
stuff.
Facts.
But yeah.
Shout out to Oakland though.
But y'all just did a show, I guess a few weeks ago now, but at the
Yeah.
chapel, and that was your joint set with you guys. You
Yes,
know, so
sir.
like how
Yeah.
can you talk a little about that, like how that felt, especially after the release of the project and everything?
Yeah.
It's fucking lit.
We was honestly, I think I was nervous. I think Eves was probably nervous too. You feel me? But like I never did a set like that where like I had to share, like actually share my time. Like I've done co-headliner shows where I've had my own separate time, and then the headliner goes on after. But to find a way to intertwine our pre-existing music, you feel me, or existing music, and then blend in our collaborative music, you feel me, that nobody had heard. I think that was like the biggest challenge, you feel me, or that was the biggest thing that we were worried about. But it worked out perfectly though, you feel me, and like I think that was like a week before the album, or like 2 weeks before. No, it was because it was January 11th, right? Yeah, so a month before the album dropped, you feel me, and like the reception was everything that we expected it to be, you feel me, at the show. Like,
I remember
loved it.
seeing Lobster during the sound check, and that shit was crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's the first time I had heard that song, like giant speakers and like
Yeah.
the guitar in the side on the side and like the
Yeah.
spotlight and the blue light. That
Yeah.
especially that being like the intro song, I think that's one of like the dopest. And shout out to Harry for production on that
Shout out
one.
to
That's like
Harry.
one of the dopest like introduction tracks on a project that I've heard in a second. Like
Wow,
it's
thanks.
like kind of like sad and sorrowful, but then when the drums kick in, it's like high energy and it's super super dope.
Yeah, man. That
Kicking
was-
off the project with the bang, you know.
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
God.
spent a lot of time on the sequencing of that project though. Like just trying to Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I mean, how much more was there that you could have put on, but you didn't?
We had a few more songs we could have put on there, I think. But you know, you gotta save some. You know.
Yeah, that's such a good question. What do you think? Just for, I think a lot of artists go back and forth between like putting everything on a project, or then even the listener might not know. Like, you know, when we drop each projects, there's like 10 to 20 to 50 tracks that we don't put on there.
Yeah.
What was your process for picking what would make this EP and what wouldn't make the EP?
Shit, just the cohesiveness, the sound of it. We just wanted to make. We wanted to make something that that really like enticed people to dance. You feel me? And like to dance and turn up. You feel me? So we didn't want to put anything too slow. Or if we did put something slow, you know, make sure it had a bounce to it. But we only had like maybe 2 or 3 songs that we didn't put on there. You feel me? Like those are all songs we made over like the past year. I think the Bro was the oldest track on the project.
That was tight.
Yeah.
You could kind of tell that it's a little older too, low key. Just like, I don't know, just me personally, like how I'm coming on it, like I'm coming hard on that shit, you know. And once I joined F&G, I started kind of like singing a little more, you know, like
Definitely.
kind of like doing more melodies and shit. But the Bro is just rap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Well, I
saying?
think that's why
All
you're a
this.
double threat, because like you like your wordplay is. It's like, I think it's over people's heads, and if it's not, it's like it's knocking them on the head. And then when you have the wordplay, you're also adding melody to it, and so it's like people are getting like a catchy melody, and they're like they're leaving with something that they want to keep repeating. Like, damn, that's the bar right there, and it has a melody. It's crazy.
Yeah, Ease
Thank you, bro.
He's just fucking nice with it, man. Like he every time I get in the studio with him, I always like find myself trying to, you know, make sure my pen game is strong.
Right.
You feel me? And not to say I'm not a good lyricist. I'm a great lyricist, but like,
Yes, you are. Yeah.
you know,
Facts.
but Ease is nice with it though. You know,
Nah, but that's why I tapped in with you, because I was like, what? I was like, man, there's someone that's like actually, I feel like on my or above my songwriting level in my own neighborhood, talking about the same thing
Right.
I'm talking about. You know,
I
I
think
was
that
like, I
is
gotta
hella
tap
special.
in. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's tough to find too, because like often, especially because of how tight knit our community is and how much friendship is there, you also want to, release the most, like the dopest product you can and push
Yeah.
yourself. So having someone, because it seems like when he was asking about, you know, Ozer, why EaSWay, EaSWay, why Ozer,
right?
it feels like you guys have just like an authentic connection, whether it be like naturally you guys are from the same area, Frisco, The Point. But then also like it seems like your minds kind of like they fit together well, and on top of that, the skill is on par. Like you guys each your own style, but like the
right.
you can go toe to toe,
Right.
Yeah,
and that's
facts.
kind of rare to find sometimes.
Right. Very,
facts.
very true.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
true.
facts. We had like a random ass session in LA too when he lived in LA. I was in LA with my homegirl, and Callie was out there too. Matter of fact, like most random shit ever. Like 4 or 5 years ago, we ended up. I forget why I was out there,
Shout out to
but
Callie.
yeah, shout out to my brother Callie, man.
Shout out
Our
Callie.
brother Callie. But I was out there with my homegirl, West Side Allure. She a DJ. I think you know her, bro.
I
But-
met her at the Don't Blow My High. Blow My High.
Yeah, Blow My
High, yeah.
And so there's a lot of folks there. Shout out that video. But yeah, randomly, like we were just all in the EaSWay room cooking up. I don't know where the fuck the song is, but
It's on one of my old computers, I think. I don't know if we
coming out.
finished it. I mean, I probably just didn't mix it, you feel me? But we were rapping for a while, though. It was chill. It was
Shout
a
out all the
vibe.
songs that'll never get finished.
yeah, never.
Right, this is my college apartment, you feel me? Like, loft, though. Not apartment, nigga. I was living better than y'all niggas in college, okay? Don't get it fucked up, all right? Big ass, like, 50-foot ceiling, nigga. Like,
Hey, he did have it was a nice crib though. It was a
throwing
nice crib.
parties in that bitch,
That
bro. I'm
sounds
not
like a
even gonna hold
warehouse.
you, bro. We threw parties for like all the black frats and sororities. Like,
Wow.
we had multiple days. We had 300 people, 400 people in the crib. Like
that.
we only got one laptop stolen, so we kind of, kind
not
of win
bad.
it. You
That's
feel
a
me?
dub.
It's good
That's a
for all
dub.
our
You feel me?
That's a dub.
Yeah. Yeah.
One laptop out of a bunch of
Right, hella
parties.
turn up.
Pretty
You
good,
feel
yeah.
me?
That's a
Yeah.
dub.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say like you threw parties for like Will Smith's son or something. Like,
Shit,
Jaden
Jaden. Nigga, I'm just an icon living.
But EaSWay would come with like the most like subtle flex. Like, yeah, bro, I went to school with like the
Jamie Foxx's daughter?
Jamie Foxx's daughter, bro. Like, I was just texting her.
Nah, I was in a whole photo shoot with Jamie Foxx's daughter. Shout out to Corinne, man. Corinne,
Oh, you
did
was?
see this? Yeah, Corinne,
Wow, that's
do you see
crazy.
this?
What?
What's up, girl? I love you. I hope you killing
That's
it.
Jamie Foxx's daughter.
Yeah, I
That's
seen you.
crazy.
I seen you running the fucking Oscar, Golden Globes, fucking hosting shit. You were killing that shit, girl.
What did you do? You went to UCLA or something?
I went to USC. Fuck
That's
UCLA.
You went straight from high school to USC.
Yeah, I was a spring admit though, so I got in like for the January term.
Okay.
So went to CC
Okay.
for a semester. Yeah, thugged
So
it out.
did you? Because you saw. I feel like I started seeing you around the city when COVID hit.
Yeah,
Is that when you moved back?
that's when
Or
I came back.
That's when you came back.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you had saw Ozer at the show, that was just you visiting.
that was before.
That was
Yeah,
way
That
before
was you
that.
visiting.
Mm-hmm.
So then you probably lived in LA for like 6, 7, 8 years.
Yeah, I was in LA for 7 to 8 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
crazy.
How was that? You like LA? You want to go back?
Man, I like LA a lot. Yeah, I rock with LA. I got people out there, you know, like definitely connected, locked in out there.
Right.
But definitely connected and locked in out here too. So
Right.
it's different. The reason I really came back was to help my mom's out, but there's pros and cons that I was trying to calculate before I moved back, and one of them was the LA music scene. Right, so many musicians out there, but not many venues for up and coming artists to really like pop out at. You know,
Fact.
you got a lot of venues that are 500 plus. You know, 1,000 plus, and it's like the Roxy. That's like the breakout venue. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
and that's a big venue. You
Right.
know.
Yeah, the Russell did some shit there.
Right, and that's like if you pack that out, you're actually that's kind of the benchmark, you know. But I was doing shows at schools, colleges, clubs, and it was just like I don't know, it wasn't a community.
Right.
Niggas just were trying to party, you
Right.
know, and you just happen to be good party music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for that.
That's why I feel like LA and the Bay can like complement each other if there's like that authentic connection. Because I think a lot of
Yeah.
folks go to LA and I feel like there's like this some kind of consensus like, oh, it's hella fake out there. Da, 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 da. But I feel like that often happens when they go out there and they kind of touch the surface level. But I feel like with any community or space, like if you really get tapped in, then you meet the real people who are doing the work. And I think LA
Yeah.
has industry and we have a circuit. And if you can kind of like push and pull on both
Yeah.
those aspects of each city,
Yeah.
it could be a lot of wins for everybody.
Oh God.
I know some dope folks in LA, man. Shout out to my homegirl Kiki or Kiani, and then also like my boy Josh McCall. He got a dope ass brand out there called Brick.
Yeah.
Being real is quality. He's the one that made. If y'all see me with that Dickie jacket that say Brick, he's the one that made that. And Professor Xavier,
seen
like
that.
they all go crazy as fuck. But
Yeah.
the last two dudes, they both make music.
Right.
But dope as hell.
Yeah, it's a lot of creatives out there. That's what I like too. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just everywhere you look, it's someone you could work with. You know, out here, it's like you got to find the creatives. You know, you got to be
Yeah.
in the circuit. You know, most of the time you're just gonna run into random people that could give less of a fuck about culture in the city.
Right.
Yeah,
And people
for
move to LA on a creative tip more than
Yeah.
they move here on some creative shit for sure.
Yeah.
I do feel like when people move here and they find it though, they're like, "Oh my god, I can't."
Yeah.
Like,
It's amazing.
even like homies who like don't do music, who I met through like SF State or music stuff, like they don't make music, but they find this scene. They're like, "Damn!" Like they don't like they moved to New York and like I kind of miss the Bay a lot. Like, I want to come back.
Yeah, it's just the I don't know, the energy is just different, bro. It's like
Yeah, it's tough.
it's like really it's homey. Like I feel like when we find out that somebody's not from the Bay, like we try so hard to like show them what the real Bay is, and we really
Right.
try to make them feel welcome. You feel me? Then also just on like a musical tip, just looking at the underground scene, like we all really support one another. You feel
Right.
me? It's legit. It's authentic. You feel me? Like you can't really find that too many places.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean when it comes to like studio sessions too and creative sessions in general, do you notice any I guess differences between when you're working with an LA crowd or a Bay crowd, or anything you learned from working down there that you brought up here? Or is it not so clear cut, you know?
You want my real answer?
Yeah, I do.
God damn, bro. Yeah, in LA, everyone wants to be an artist, bro. So I spent days of time recording niggas that probably like no one will ever hear. You know,
Oh, you would engineer for people.
I would
and
engineer
stuff,
for people
Okay,
too. Yeah, like I'd make beats, I'd engineer for people. Like, and some of them are still making music, and some are trapping, and some are fitness entrepreneurs.
I was
You
not
know, it's
expecting
like.
that.
Trappers and fitness entrepreneurs.
Shit, getting that, pushing that weight.
Not expecting that.
But yeah, it's like in the Bay to be to kind of step out there as an artist and network and introduce yourself as an artist. You probably have to be a little more dedicated than you do in LA, because LA everyone's like, oh, for sure, that's lit, come on. In the Bay it's like, okay, like what have you done, you know, who you worked with, like
Factuals.
you know, like let's get in and see if you can do something, but it's not gonna, I don't know, there's not as many people doing it, so you kind of have to come with it. You feel me?
I feel like on that note, for me, why I can relate to that is because I feel like, one, the Bay is so expensive. So I know I work full time and I also do music full time. So if someone wants to like collaborate or like join with me, like one, like I said with y'all, you have to have the authentic connection, and two, like is the skill and is the hustle there? Because if it's not, then it's like it's not fair for me to take my skill, my hustle, my time, and attach it to someone that's not going to meet me halfway.
That's facts. So especially in this day and age where you got streaming, you feel
Right.
me, and then like people could literally just get all your monthly listeners just from like making your main artists and that shit. You feel me? And then they don't put no work in.
Right.
You feel me? Like, gotta be careful of that. Honestly,
For sure, yeah. I mean, maybe this is a sensitive topic, but like, how, I guess, what percentage of the time do you commit to that idea and you're like, no?
but
Like whether it be a collab or, you know, like if like, you know, how many like people hit up your DMs just like EaSWay, and then you're like, you know,
a lot.
yeah,
A lot of folks. A lot of folks hit up O, and then if I just don't feel like talking, sometimes I'll just send them to O. You feel me? But a lot though, you feel me? But like I think the thing about it is, I think up a lot, and that's not to say I don't want to work with like up and come artists. That's not the case, but.
Yeah.
I think when you are an up-and-coming artist and you trying to show somebody that you're serious about your craft, you feel me? Like, you really have to take the time to, to put it. You really got to take time and put in time to your social media and all that. You feel me? And like really working your brand to let other artists know that you're serious about your craft. You feel me? Like, if I go on your page and you know you saying you're an artist and all I see is pictures of you smoking and probably like not chilling, you feel me? And I see one cover that's not even appealing, you know, then I'm not gonna take you serious, you feel me? Because you're not even taking yourself, or it appears that you're not taking yourself serious, you feel me? So but it happens often though, you feel me? And again, that's not me trying to be like cocky or anything, but if I gotta put time into doing a verse and going to the studio and driving and taking away time from my personal life, and then, you know, those are just things I got to consider.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And I think anyone who doesn't understand that, like, they're not quite ready for what it is they're
fucking
putting their
cooked,
feet in.
bag. Let them know. Y'all fucking
think-
just finished
the thing is,
before
there's
it
a lot of
started, brother. Sorry.
I think there's a lot of artists who might feel like salty about that, what you just said, or they might not understand what you said comes before you not responding, or some of us not responding or being able to make it happen.
Yeah.
And they might learn along the way, but in that moment,
Right.
they've yet to learn that like there's so much you have to do to really express to yourself that like I'm serious, you know. And it takes, once you do that, then other people will see that. But like
Facts.
if you're not putting those actions in, then the output doesn't communicate that like I need to do this with my life. You know?
Right.
It just says like, oh, bro, like maybe this could be a win for me.
Right.
Help me. You know?
Exactly. You feel me? Like time is very limited. You feel me? You gotta spend that shit. Just, in a smart way.
Mindset.
And to kind of expand that into your history, Ozer, I know that you studied marketing, right? And I'm curious, you know, coming from that and being where you're at now, can you expand on some things that you might have learned that you agree with or maybe disagree with, or maybe something that a lot of people tend to neglect that was instilled into you from your training, your education?
What I've learned along the way, numbers aren't necessarily everything. You feel me? Nowadays, I think a lot of us could be led astray by looking at numbers. Numbers could be skewed very easily nowadays. You got bots. and all types of shit out there. You feel me? So I think when I went to school for marketing, you know, they told you to, you know, focus on that, focus on ROI and all that, but numbers aren't that important. You feel me? I found artists on Spotify that sound great, and they may only have like 100, 200 monthly listeners. You feel me? But they may be able to pack out the show. You feel me? I know bigger artists that have tons of monthly listeners and can't pack out a show. You feel me? They don't even know
about it.
They don't even know how to promote. Don't
Right.
even know how to promote a show. You feel me?
Right.
So it's like numbers don't really mean everything, you know. And even myself, like I have 142,000 monthly listeners. You feel me? But I don't let that go to my head. You feel me? Because I know that that doesn't necessarily mean that all those folks are fans of Ozer. You feel me? Well, I do have a lot of fans, but I don't think it's each and every monthly listener. You feel me? So I think a lot of times numbers could just go to people's head. You feel me? And that's just something that you sort of gotta look past. You know. But one thing that folks neglect a lot, and I think I said this in an earlier interview, like earlier in my career with you, but folks just neglect just sort of like they brand image, you know, if that makes sense. When you really trying to build yourself up as an artist, you want to come off as obviously an artist, but you also want to come off as professional, like I just said, like you know what you're doing. And a lot of artists just they'll promote their song and they'll just put up a cover or something, no type of snippet, you feel me? And expect people just to go listen to it. You feel me? You gotta understand it's 1,000 artists dropping music every second. You feel me? And so don't get comfortable and expect that people just gonna click on a link just because you put up a picture of your album, you feel me, or something like that. Like you really gotta put the work in, put money in the ads, put money in to get in, good visualizers so people could be attracted to the to the look of the cover, but also can hear the music too. You feel me? Like you really got to make sure you stand out. Like.
Kyle, do you mind if I build on that a little bit?
Yeah, do your thing.
Just real quick, especially in the Bay, I've seen it happen more than in LA a little bit. But like people expect their friends to support them because they're fuck with them. But I would try to not use that as a fallback.
Yeah.
Right.
Because at the end of the day,
You want to get past that.
you don't want your friends at your show.
I don't want my friends on my shows.
You know, you want niggas that have never heard you speak.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's with the F&G shows. I get really excited because every show we've done, I'm like, there's like 80 to 100 people that I've never seen.
never.
In my
I don't know.
life.
Yeah.
I don't know who you are,
Facts.
and that's beautiful. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And then you see your friend, and they show up, but sometimes that friend shows up, and then they don't come back the next time, but this one does, and that's beautiful because that's love.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of artists, like you saying, like they get so pissy and so upset when the people closest to them don't support them. It's like, bro, that's 4 people out of 8 billion. You know?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they like Led Zeppelin. They don't like you. You know, that's fine.
Yeah,
You know?
you got to think about it like this, bro. It's like your music has like you have a fan base. You feel me? You have a target audience. Just because they're your friends don't mean they're your target audience. You feel me? Don't mean they don't like your music. I know it's a lot of my friends that don't listen to my music. That's perfectly fine. Like I still love them. You feel me? And if they end up listening to it, then cool. You feel me? I don't love you any more, any less. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to market your business and get get new listeners or whatever.
Yeah, and that's pure approval too. If you got like, any homie telling you it's sick, they could be telling you the truth. But like, if you got people coming outside of that, it's like it's an actual marker of what's going on.
Yeah, you feel me?
And like, it's a lot more satisfying when you don't have a face for expectation, of like who's gonna be there, or like names or whatever. It's so much worry out the way, And like, how many of you your close? I mean, at least for me, like I'm like, how many of my close people that I hang out with every day, like they're like me, so they're not necessarily gonna want to go to the center of the dance floor and just start fucking dancing their ass off, And so like, I can't rely on my friends necessarily to do that, So you need to expand more than that,
No.
But
Just going back to what you're saying about the numbers, and then you're talking about also artists that like have the numbers but they can't pack out a show. I think just to answer your question, I feel like you gotta have hella legs. Like I've seen artists that got a crazy TikTok following, but when it comes to communicating about music, they don't know basic lingo, right? Or if they show up to a show, they don't know how to hold themselves to like really engage the crowd. And then there's artists who are really talented and the music is fire, and then they complain about like, oh, the pictures aren't doing well on Instagram anymore.
Right.
Like just like, look at Kendrick. Obviously, it's not the greatest comparison because he's top. You know what I mean? But yes, his artistry is genius. But look at the rollout. Look at the media assets attached to him. You know, like you don't think he has a role in okaying and creating ideas for that rollout and for like the snippets and the music videos and the stage design. You know, like to be a creative, you got to be creative. You know, like I love my production, but when I drop a project, I'm thinking about everything that goes along with it. You know? And it's a tough process, but you have to love that process. And then of course, there's some artists that over time, they get to step back and focus on the one thing they're most passionate about. Yeah. But usually to get there, you got to have your hand in a lot of different things.
You got to be hustling, bro. Yeah. Like you really got to have your hands in everything. And Nip said this too, like, if you think all your money is going to come off of music, you feel me, then you sort of naive, you feel me? Like you really got to, the music is somewhat of a vessel to get you to other places, you feel me? So like, have your music, but also learn these other crafts too to help yourself, and then maybe you can even start a business, with one of those other crafts to get you more money, you feel me? But you know, that's real talk though. Right.
It's like an advertisement for yourself after a certain point, you know, like you can say what it does, you can say what you want about like what it does to the actual product of the music and stuff, but in a lot of ways that's what it turns into, where you're just advertising yourself. And then, you know, once you're doing all this other stuff, the music is like, oh yeah, like he's back on my radar now, and then didn't he have this, didn't he have that, you know, and you go back to it.
Adds the momentum. Go.
I was gonna say a couple points, talking about Kendrick, right, and rollout. People think that Kendrick don't do nothing, you know what I'm saying? The only song that I saw that got nominated for Grammys was The Heart Part 5, you know what I'm saying? And that was the lead single, like what, 5 months before, damn near before the album came out, you know? And that shit was like touching on all these LA greats, you know? And it's not like Kendrick needs to pop out, but it's like you gotta be thoughtful to accomplish some shit like that and like know the impact, you know? You gotta plan for that shit to get nominated even, you know what I'm saying? You wanna think about the nods that you're gonna get. So it's like, even all these niggas that act like they're not, you know, really like crunching the numbers, they really are. And if they aren't, then their managers or their label are. You know?
Factual.
And then, the second thing I was gonna say, I really forgot already.
Oh, good.
Goddamn, I'm wilding.
But I think there's a power to obscurity too. You know, like I think, especially for newer people, you know, there's a need to get yourself out there and you know, be constant with your presence. But you know, there is something to be said about those people that post a picture every like, you know, 2 weeks to like a month, and it gets eaten up because they're like, oh shit, like they did that. And there's a certain screen in front of that artist that like modern social media advertising or like marketing is kind of works against, you know, like being super open is kind of what is the norm now, you know, being super like, this is my process, this is what I do every day, follow me and do this.
Exactly.
But like, it's hard to get to that point that I'm talking about of holding yourself back. But like, how much, to open it up to a discussion, like how much do you think you can use that coming up or like in the early stages? Because I think that's really dependent on having a strong following already. Like Kendrick can do that because he's fucking Kendrick, and you know, people will go to his shit if he drops something new. But like, how do you harness that as a new artist, do you think?
Break it down like a pound, bro.
Like like being obscure, like sort of being
just holding yourself, like putting yourself out there, but holding yourself back enough to where, you know, you left something to be desired, or like, you know, it's a thing for you to post rather than it's like a constant, you know.
It's a balance, you feel me? Like you don't want to put out so much or post so much that people get tired of you, you feel me? But you also don't want to like you don't want people to forget about you either, you feel me? So it's definitely a balance, and I think I found myself sort of trying to find that, you know, sort of find that balance myself, honestly. But even now, like, I take that concept even when I do shows. Like, a lot of folks have been tapping in with me for shows and shit, right? And I tell them, like, I'm not doing another show in the city for a while, you feel me? And I wait to do my headlining shows on the city on purpose because I know that folks are gonna know that the demand is high, but the supply is low. You feel me? So if I'm doing a show every week in San Francisco, giving too many people choices, too many people, too many choices. You feel me? So at some point, it's just gonna be like, all right, well, I could just catch them next week. You feel me? So it's definitely it's a balance, man. And you don't wanna like slut yourself out, for the lack of better words. You feel me? Like
sure.
you don't want to just put up shit or put out shit just because you want people to engage with it. You feel me? Like put out things that you're comfortable with and that's actually like authentic to you. Right. You feel me? Because when you start to put out stuff and force it, people could tell like that's not you. You feel me? So that's my take on it, though.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like it brings into question the balance between quality and quantity, whether it's a show or it's posts on social media. I feel like right now the answer is both, but quality comes first.
Yeah, for sure.
If you got a bunch that is at quality, then put it out.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you have two quality, whether it's a show opportunity or a media post or songs, whatever it is, and like 10 that could fill the quantity, but the 10 aren't quality, put out the 2,
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Even look at our project, for instance. Like it's 5 songs, right? But like the quality of it is really is really good.
God tier, nigga.
Hey man,
Yes.
hey, he
Talk
said it.
that
He said
shit.
it. Not
Don't
me,
sugarcoat
man.
it.
Yeah, I
Come on.
said it.
Tell
Hey
them what it
man,
is.
Come find me, nigga, if
Hey.
you got a problem too.
It's high.
I'm in the city.
It's high quality. You feel me? Like from the cover to the
God
to
tier.
the sequencing of it to everything. You feel me? Like it's high fucking quality. You feel me? And like I'd rather have high quality 5 songs than low quality 20.
I think that's just every artist is gonna, because nothing's black and white. There's no because there's a Russell posting 5, 4 all the time. Yeah. And then we have other artists who are like a Frack who will post once a month maybe, unless you got a couple of things happen, then they'll post 2 or 3 times, but they go up. So I think it's just every artist has to figure out like what you're talking about. What is their brand?
Exactly.
And how do they engage with their brand, and what is like the structure behind their brand? So every artist has to figure it out for themselves.
Exactly. You feel me?
But speaking of the God tier music, I wanted to get into just some of the details for Slaponia. And first, the biggest one is like you have the cover that resembles an Outkast album.
Shout to Outkast.
And I'm wondering if it was more like you looked at it as a mood board to grab some inspiration, or was there a deeper connection to Outkast and
that was very intentional, if you ask me.
So I just want can you speak on why Slaponia and why connection to Outkast?
Man, so we came up with this whole concept on a Sunday morning, and I was in bed next to my girl, and we was trying to drop the. We knew we had the songs and shit ready already, and we were just trying to figure out the name and like the cover for it, right? And so I called him. I'm like, "Hey, bro, we finna call this, bro. Like, we finna do. Like, we need a cover for it and everything." And we was on the phone for like an hour and a half trying to figure this out. And we just started going through. Yeah, so we just started searching up like duos, like famous rap duos, and then Stank Konya came up like, "Oh shit, like this is dope."
That's tight.
And in a way, I feel like we are sort of similar to Outkast in the sense of like we're very different than the typical Bay Area sound that you get, and also like our styles together are very similar but different as well. You feel me?
Word.
And so I just felt like it just made sense to do something like that, But one thing we didn't realize is that how like black the album, like how much black pride the album actually.
Nah, that was my plan the whole time, bro.
Oh,
I originally, I don't know if you remember, bro, but I wanted a Pan-African flag behind us, right?
Oh, he did. He actually did. He did.
Wanted to flip the Stankonia shit, right? And make it like real, like modern take on revolutionizing the Bay, the industry, all of that.
Yeah.
And this nigga was like, hit me 2 days later, like, yo, I just got the flag, it's lit. I'm like, bet, let me see it. It's like just the black and white American flag. I'm like, all right. I'm like, all right,
the idea.
that's what we doing then. And then it came out hella tough though. So and it's still the same effect, because the black and white American flag as we see on like Long Live ASAP, you know what I'm saying? Like the Stankonia cover just throughout history, it's like very political still charged. You know, it's like.
I mean, I could say when I first saw it, I thought of Outkast, and I thought about like anti-USA.
Exactly.
You know, from a black point of view. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, factual.
Double.
Actually, just a little deeper into that too. Like, there's is it on Duffel? It is on Duffel. No, it's on. I think it might be on Dice Rolling. The line about the KKK. And we're talking. We've been going back and forth about intention. Like we talked about Nipsey talking about, leverage music into a business. We've talked about how Slaponia was meant for songs that were geared towards dancing, but that you got Duffel on there too, so it's not entirely like that.
Right.
You're talking about we would have had a Pan-African flag. So I'm wondering what your intention, both of you, what is your priority with music, or do you have a couple priorities when it comes to what message do you want to push,
Man,
That's a good question.
it's a great question.
You want to go first?
You guys on?
Sure. Always. Bruh, I'm going to need my niggas to go to college, bro. And if you don't go to college, bro, get something you are passionate about that you are willing to divulge and divest as much time as you would into a degree into. Because, like we were talking about marketing, like I did a minor in marketing a little bit myself, but I didn't like finish it out in school. But like anything that you can do to like get your life trajectory on the path that you want it to be on, bro, just gotta be dedicated to do that shit. And that's like my whole music is like I took a really kind of random path to get to where I'm at right now. I headlined Slims right when I was 17, right? And decided to go to college after that, and still get a degree when I probably could have just went full time on the music shit. But what that allowed me to do was get some legs outside of the Bay, and where I got to take my talent all around the country and the world, you know what I'm saying? And just especially LA, and really like hone my craft in, and figure out what I wanted to do more so, So I feel like whatever like you want to do in life, like if you want to do anything at all, like you could, like then there are niggas that just don't even clean their ass every day, they just wake up, just want to turn on fucking YouTube, you feel me, and just bum out.
Right.
That's cool too, but just don't come to my show without taking a shower, bro. So if you about some shit in life, bro, just make sure that you are driven, dedicated, focused, undeterred enough to see that shit through, because that's what we're doing right now, me and O. Like we met 5 years ago and we're seeing that shit through right now, you know what I'm saying? In 5 years, nigga, that was after I damn near graduated almost, so it's like just have that passion and dedication, bro.
I think the idea of seeing it through is so important, because like you said, like you went this way and that way, but the foundation was like, I'm seeing it through. Like, and like I've been talking about that, like I go up and down, I have my doubts, should I do this thing, that thing? But underneath all that is like, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to figure it out. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to figure it out. And like, I went to college too, and like, I got really into ethnic studies, right? And I was like, I'm going to be a grassroots organizer. Social justice will be my life.
And you fire it.
And I still did music, but like that became the priority. But through that, I stopped. But now that role, that intention plays a huge role in the music now.
I could tell. It makes so much. I didn't know you went to college. That makes so much sense.
I went to SF State, and my major was sociology and ethnic studies.
Damn, that makes so much sense.
And I was a Becca major. I was a broadcasting and electronic communication arts major. So it was production. I was in an audio production major, and I left that.
Okay.
And I still think like, damn, there's probably a lot of game, a lot of connections, and a lot of technical knowledge I could have got.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I didn't.
Yeah.
But I continued on this music path, and I'm here now.
That's beautiful,
You gonna make it shake.
That's beautiful. I guess to answer the question, man, my priority is to give folks a human experience when listening to music. You feel me? We go through different emotions. I go through different emotions, and my goal is just to portray that as much as I can through through music, and to I guess one of the main things I look to do is to motivate. You feel me? Because I had a very untraditional path as well. You feel me? I started writing at like age 6, and my dad actually knew a lot of the rappers in the city. You feel me? So I had access to a studio.
Shout out to Papa Oz.
Yeah, shout out to Oz. That's where I got the name from. But he acts like he was cool with Cool Nut. Fun fact, Cool Nut put me on the apple juice. Shout out to Cool Nut.
Shout out to AMK, bro. Shout out to AMK too. That's my.
I'll tell that story in a minute, but
I've heard that
That
story,
story
too.
hella funny.
it's
bro.
just to motivate. You feel me?
You got apple juice right there.
Man,
Juice for sure.
the crazy thing is, bro, I feel like I was destined to do this because a lot of people don't know this. I had a speech impediment, so a lot of I couldn't pronounce a lot of words. When I was a child, I actually had to go to like a special class.
I did too, actually.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to. Yeah, like my Z's and S's were getting mixed up, my R's and W's, all that, and so I had to go to a class to actually learn that. And on top of that, when I first started rapping, nobody believed in me at all. Like I had notebooks, and my cousin would find them, and he'd be like, "Bro, this shit is trash." You feel me? And like, I would try to hide them. You feel me? Even when I went to show my best friend Nat, you feel me? Everybody know Nat. That's like one of my right hand men. Like he said, bro, maybe you should stick to the business side. You feel me? And
Damn, Nat, that's crazy, bro.
Hey, and I was like, nah, like fuck that. You feel me? And I think what really got me into it was when I talk about this a lot. It was a conversation with my dad that motivated me to start doing it again. Cause I had this feeling, I knew I couldn't talk to anybody about it, but I knew I could talk to myself about it and record it. You feel me? And that's what really sort of pushed me over the edge. You feel me? So saying all that to say is like when I go into music, I go into music just to try to give folks as much game as possible. You feel me? To teach them how to navigate through whatever they may be going through. You feel me? Obviously, I'm giving some fun music too, but for the most part, I like to make sure you leaving with some type of additional knowledge and some game. You feel me? That you could use in your life. You feel me? You could use as motivation, whatever it may be. You know?
Fucking tight.
Yeah, and I know you cite like J. Cole and Nipsey as big influences for you, but you speak on gaming people up through your music. So can you kind of speak on the game you got through their music when you were coming up?
Yeah, bro.
I mean, still,
Nip, I listen to Nip all the time. And Nip is one of the first people that really taught me about masters, like owning your masters. And I didn't know what the hell masters were until you start talking about it. I'm like, oh shit, what is this? You feel me? I start, looking more into it, and being an independent artist, like you sort of have a leg up because you own your masters until you sign a record deal, and they take all that from you. Owning your masters, and then just learn, like, knowing how to run a business, you feel me? And also just learning not to, like, give up. You feel me? Like, Double Up is one of my favorite songs by Nip, you feel me? And one of his lines, and it was actually a line that I didn't understand at first. Like, literally, I didn't know what he was saying, but it's the most powerful line in the song to me now. But he said, "Never let a hard time humble us." You feel me? It's real though. You feel me? Like, we all go through a lot of trials and tribulations. You feel me? But like, you don't let that stop you from getting to where you go, from getting to where you gotta go in life. You feel me? Like, keep going. You feel me? Turn them negatives to positives.
There's that interview that it's been used a couple of times, but I first heard it on Perfect 10 when DJ Mustard released the posthumous. Yeah, exactly. He just talks like the main thing. He was just like, he didn't have like a well thought out step-by-step plan of what was going to happen. He just continued on, He's just like, I just kept going. And that's what, if you look around us, like the folks that were who are here now, were here 5 years ago or longer, like they're dope. They got their own brand, they got their own style and skill and creative genius, but the factor that links all of them together is that they just kept going.
They kept going.
Consistent,
That's it. It's so many artists that I followed on Instagram that just gave up just rapping because this thing just didn't go their way. You feel me? I'm like, damn, like,
it's easy to get discouraged.
It's very easy.
That's why, like,
don't be a hoe, nigga. What I say, emotions. Hoe, nigga, get up out of your emotions.
That's I need that on my phone to play that to myself every time I fucking.
It's an important skill to have.
That's the alarm clock.
Yeah. Those thoughts are gonna come up, and you could feel them, but don't let your actions like fall into that every time. It might pop. You might give up a couple times, like whether it be you act silly or stupid or
Yeah.
pissy, whatever it is, or like you get
Right.
whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
But you have the opportunity to just like keep trying, figure out branding, figure out social media, figure
Right.
out how to use your voice, figure out how to mix, whatever it is. Like just
Right.
keep going and then put your head down, lift it up, and like, oh damn, like I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
progressed.
Yeah.
Keep going, bro. Put your all into it.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this other day, man. My great grandma told me before she passed away, R.I.P. I was in Louisiana at her crib, and this is like my first time meeting her. I never met her before. And she said you're gonna be a preacher,
Mm,
and I didn't know what like she meant or anything like that.
that's tight.
And then like I was like, well, I don't know, I can't really see myself, like really preaching to, in the church or something. But now as I got older, like I really realized what she meant. You feel me? And it's talking to people to through music and
Yeah.
giving a message. You feel me?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if
voice.
irony is the right word for both, but like the whole, speech training from a young age to like, your great grandmother saying all this, it's kind of I don't know, there's some remarkable things to note, when you're looking at what you're doing now,
Yeah, man. It's crazy because I don't really talk about the speech training like that. My vocal coach, shout out to Shari, tap in with her if you need to learn how to sing. She helping me out a lot. But she's the one that actually told me I should start talking more about the speech impediment. You feel me? She
You
said
definitely should. It's dope because the first thing, even when Nostalgia came out, or when I heard Nostalgia for the first time, like once again 5-6 years ago, obviously the first thing I noticed was the voice. I was like, this man sounds like he's a professional recording artist.
That's crazy.
And it had its own. You have your own. It's your own voice. Like not only does it sound solid, it like it's a unique voice.
Yeah, thank you. Man.
Just a random note. You said your grandma told you that. It's funny because
Yeah.
on the instrumental album I dropped, Billy Harper is a dope jazz musician, and he has a song called "Trying to Make Heaven My Home." And I looked up I love that song, right? So then when I made the project, I was like, let me find up an interview about him, and he had a similar story where like his grandma told him that he would be a preacher, and at the age when he was a kid, he was like, nah, like, that doesn't make any sense. But as he got older, he was like, oh yeah, I'm preaching through my music.
Yeah, it's crazy to really.
Grandmas
think
know
about.
everything.
I don't know what it is, bro. Like I don't know what it is, but grandmas from the South just know every fucking thing.
Wisdom.
You feel me? It's that wisdom. You feel me? So
yeah.
it's beautiful.
On the topic of finding your voice too, EaSWay, you talk about how there was a bit of a transition for you from like you're kind of just more like straight bars to like being a little more melodic singing and stuff. So can you talk about that transition a bit? I mean, I know I've heard an interview that comes to mind from Black, and he was saying how he spent hours just in a room sounding terrible to himself to find his voice. And so like did you have any moments like that where there was some sort of doubt in the transition, or what kind of made you do that in the first place?
Yeah, man. I actually have always made music. Like I played bass when I was in second grade. I was in a band with like 3 homies called the Strawberries.
That's fire.
We were just doing AC/DC covers and shit.
Sick.
Bro, I was the same kind of. We called ourselves Unidentified Flying Music, and we just played covers all the time.
I love that.
That's a sick name too.
I like that.
UFM.
So UFM, that's fire.
I like that.
But yeah, I kind of I've always kind of been around singers and just been like having to read music and shit. And I joined chorus eventually when I was like in 6th grade, I think, and then did chorus through high school too. I live right by a church. I'm not finna tell y'all where it is, but I do live by a church, and you could literally hear like, I don't know, you could hear me rehearsing my sax from the church in my room, So I've always kind of had a connection to like the actual like musicality of the shit, but I never thought that I had the voice to actually do it myself. And then I just got to high school. I just started singing high falsetto, like, and niggas was like, "What the fuck?" You know, they would watch me like eyes wide open, like, "Yo, what is happening right now?" You know, this black dude like touching 6 feet, like just singing like falsetto, like, you know, like an R&B diva or some shit. Not like Sam Smith, you know what I'm saying? But like, I was still singing, you know. I grew up on gospel music and like Prince. I've seen Prince like 6-7 times live.
Wow.
Like Prince threw me a tambourine from the crowd that I still got in my crib
no
right
way.
now.
When was this?
That's,
Where was
That's
this?
an item right
This
there.
was in
What?
San Ho, yup.
That's an item.
You got it? You still got it?
Still got
Were you with
it.
your family, your mom?
I was with my mom and my godfather, yup.
That's lit.
You need
That's
to
crazy.
insure that shit or something.
Ah, no,
You
yeah.
gotta, ooh, hey, that's a bag.
It kind of is. I never
You gotta
thought
do an
about it.
album.
Bag, what?
You gotta do an album cover holding tambourine.
I've actually
real
never
bag.
thought about like using it now, but like
See show and tell.
I just
Yeah,
see, I
yeah,
just see
right,
it
yeah.
hanging up, and I'm just like, it's just a reminder for me, like what could be. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Wow.
so I've always kind of had the interest in singing, and then I just kind of like got my legs, you know, as I sang more and more and more and more, and I just got less bad, and I started singing along with Michael Jackson and The Weeknd, you know, and you know, Whitney and shit. You do that, you're gonna be a good singer. You can sing. You can sing a Whitney song and make it sound like a Whitney song, or sing a Michael song and make it sound like a Michael song. Nigga, you can sing. You know what I'm saying?
The
And then
thing,
you just go.
the thing I've learned while like taking lessons is that's really all it is, bro. You just, oh my bad. The thing I've learned is like in taking lessons, all singing is just literally just repeating the same thing
Practice.
over and over again until you get it, and then you know, do the muscle memory. Your body's gonna remember how to do it.
Yeah,
You feel
it's
me? That's what it is.
Exactly.
You know?
But it definitely took a while for me. Like, I was never just trying to rap, you know what I'm saying? But it took a while for me to be like confident enough to actually just sing in front of people. So,
yeah.
and then auto tune is fire, you know. Like, it's really helpful. Like, even like really talented singers like Ariana and shit, like, I'll be tuning that
They
shit.
still
So
Yeah.
They still-
Even if it's just like the smallest amount, that's definitely a
Yeah.
trick that people use.
Exactly.
It's like reverb at this point. It's just like,
Right.
Oh, yeah, facts.
It's
Facts.
like it just
real shit.
It
just gives a
smooths
voice
it
and
out.
texture.
Yeah,
Right.
smooths
Yeah.
it out a little
Yeah,
bit.
factual.
For
Right.
sure.
Actually.
Yeah.
Speaking on music, though, should we go into?
Yeah, I have one more
segments?
question. Just
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you were
go
talking about you, but I think that was the next step.
Yeah.
Because you talked about Michael Jackson and
The Weeknd.
Whitney Houston, The Weeknd, and I had written down like, to me, like, I think especially with the Broad and just the project in general. When I think about EaSWay, what I put down, I think I talked about like I feel like I assume you listen to Don Toliver.
Yo, that's
So it seems like you practice with certain artists, and I was gonna ask like, what artist do you listen to, and specifically for inspiration? You know.
yeah, man. I think I'm a mix of like the best of Kendrick, Kanye, The Weeknd, and Mac Dre all in one.
I was gonna say Mac Dre because you have your shit talking.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Kinda
like
goofy.
I'm not very serious all the time, you know what I'm saying? But like I'm trying to talk my shit too, you know what I'm saying? So speaking of Don Toliver, yo, shout out to Don Toliver, bro.
Go crazy.
Shout to Don. He's actually changing the whole music landscape right now. And
How so, you think?
just being a normal nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like, but also hella talented, you know?
Right.
Like, everyone's got to come with this big ass, like, oh, I have this big ass, like meaning to, like my past and my life, like, I trapped or whatever, like, or I, like, knocked some people, like, I got bodies or I got hella bitches.
Yeah.
Dawn, to me, is just, like, I'm just giving you music, you know what I'm saying? And you can't talk about it because it sounds so good.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's like every song he drops is just melodic ear candy, bro.
Yeah.
And so I respect that, but I also came into Dawn when I was already doing my shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So definitely he's inspiring because of his talent and his swag and his just like carefree style. You know, he brought Tisa Korean on tour with him, you know, and like that nigga's just dancing all the time, just talking about silly. I'm just trying to be silly and shit, you know? So it's like, you know, you gotta add some like, and not everything's that serious, you feel me? Like you can
gotta
just
be
make
human.
really good music and be a person. Like
Yeah.
that's why I think people fuck with Juice WRLD too. Cause it's like, you know, Juice was just a high school kid that just made really, really good music. You know, just spoke his truth. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm trying to do. Really, is just like make my truth sound as nice as possible. And when I'm not speaking my truth, I'm gonna make you laugh. But it's all gonna be true, you know what I'm saying? Like I just say that like to be like there's some levity in that shit that I do take from like Don, and The Weeknd's a little more serious, obviously, but like you know Dre and E40 fucking grew up on Yuck Mouth, fucking Jay Stalin, like bro.
Jay Stalin's hella dope.
I think there's a
Jack might be my favorite from the Bay. Like,
Jack
I go
is
back and forth, but like
For sure.
there's some shit that Jack did that like I feel like it really brought together mob and hyphy and like original hip hop stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
D-boy stuff too, and it's like it. But he's being hella emotional too. Like you can hear like, some songs you can't.
Yeah.
Some songs is grimy, but there are some songs where he's like actually opening up as a man about what he's going through, and I think other men who listen to that kind of music kind of need that. You know, they need that
Exactly,
guidance,
bro.
you know?
Yeah, I think like you know the looseness or like how free you feel making your music really translates into the end product, because you know if you just go off of what sounds good, that should be the driving force, right? Like it gets if you're constantly making stuff with the basis of like how it should sound or how it's supposed to be, then it'll get stale, you know. But the shit lasts when it sounds good and it just feels good because that's what you're going off of.
Oh,
you know,
God.
for sure.
For sure. Factuals.
Yeah. I mean, that's what stands out for me to both y'all. Is like I would assume that you listen to Don Toliver, and I would assume you listen to Nip, something like that. But it doesn't sound like you're trying to emulate that. It sounds like you're inspired by it, and then you went forward and created your own sound. And I think that's like the defining factor in artists I like is like they have their own voice and their own perspective, and they're real. Like you said, they're human. You know.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Speaking of human music and voice, y'all want to do some
Growth
music?
mindset. Go slap that right now.
Growth.
We starting with Dice Rolling, right?
Dice Rolling.
So this is Dice Rolling. What playlist did this get on again?
West Side Story.
Yeah,
Yes,
Spotify
sir.
curated. You better submit your tracks on Spotify.
Matter of fact, don't do
sleep
it.
on that.
Don't submit your tracks so
Don't
we
sleep
can
on
have
that.
our shit on all the playlists.
Make room, man. Okay.
Stay away.
Dice Rolling, Ozer and EaSWay.
It's live.
Yeah.
Dice rolling. Dice rolling. Still watching out for the rollers. Still need a piece of our quota. There's still a couple things that they always dice rolling. Dice rolling. Yeah. Still watching out for the rollers. Still need a piece of our quota. There's still a couple of things that they always. Niggas up to the sunrise, ducking a 1 time, 2 time, turn in a 3 time, throwing up peace sign, double up 3 times, skirt off in a Nissan, skirt off in a. See, I learned that your freedom ain't free. Your skin black, you got a fee. You die young, then you live on the back of a T. Everybody ain't animal in the jungle, but you the one that they got up on a leash. See, I can never change the place I so happen to be from. I always said I'ma be some. My fam ain't even believe me. I had to tell my blood I'ma see some. I'm trying to go from an old school to a skyscraper. Rub clan members the wrong way, they hate us. Smoke trees, and that's just retaliation. Same things that we used to hang from. Got them hung up. Now when the money call, I'ma pick up. Used to hang from. Got them hung up. Now when the money call, I'ma pick. Hello.
Hey. Ain't getting hired faking my transcripts. Just told the recruiter I can't piss. Thinking about the block when I'm on campus. From the bay, I got her wet like Atlantis. Free my little homie till he out on bail. Knowing that I'm knowing, but I'm not gon' tell. Just said I got talent, don't waste it. Tryna hit the stool when they let him out cages. Couldn't sleep on the floor, I'm awakened. Thinking about how I'm making money in the AM. Love me so much, she gon' bite across the Bay Bridge. Ain't no peace in the Bay, they just spray bridge. Trouble outside is too ill. Trouble at home is too real. Where do we go if this hell? Struggle alive is fuck 12. What do I know I don't tell? How did I get into Coachella? How does Lil Ho get to Chanel? DGK grinding his 4L. Bonneville mobbing on 2 wheels. Praying at 12 and on my tail.
Hey, look.
Dice rolling. Dice rolling.
Hey, still watching out for the rollers. Hey, still need a piece of our quota. Hey, still couple things that they always dice rolling. Shit. Dice rolling. Still watching out for the rollers. Hey, still need a piece of our quota. Hey, still couple things that they always dice rolling. Whoa, dice rolling. Still watching out for the rollers. Still need a piece of our quota. Hey, still couple things that they go. It's dice rolling. Whoa, dice rolling. Yeah, still watching out for the rollers. Still need a piece of our quota. Still couple things that they owe us. Holy shit, where'd you find this? Goddamn.
Okay, that sounded
It's that
great.
real trap shit.
Trapaholics.
Trapaholics 2004. Holy shit.
That song's great, bro.
Man, shout out to Too
It's-
Easy.
Yeah, shout out to Too
Shout out to
Easy.
Cam and Taheem,
Cam and
man.
Taheem, man. Dope producers.
Sent us the instrumental.
All the production on the project is hella
Yeah.
sick. Yeah, that's such a good balance between like dancing and the message that speaks to the realities that y'all go through and the world is existing in, and it's kind of light, but it's not too light. You know, like I think it's a dope balance between everything we just talked about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
For sure.
big congrats on that.
thank you.
That's rolling.
Let it all play out. Let
Dice
the dice roll,
rolling.
baby.
We might have to
Still
do
watching out
a
for the
slap on your part
rollers.
too, bro. I don't know, but
Yeah, man.
Y'all should definitely do part 2. I mean, this was like 6 tracks, right? 6 tracks.
it's 5 tracks.
Five tracks.
Yeah,
Alright.
we gonna have Baghead do all 5 beats next time.
Man, let me know. Get on this
Need that.
dusty shit.
We gonna
Bagonia.
Speaking of Baghead production, you want to do
Oh, right now? Oh,
All right, we can do. Wait, so we
nigga,
could
you
do
don't got
ours
no more
next?
questions? What?
do a bunch
Nigga,
of
ask
music.
me some more questions. No, I'm just playing. All right, I'm ready whenever, bro.
All right. This song's called iPhone 13 on me. It's
iPhone
unreleased.
13.
It's unmixed.
It's about to
It's
drop.
unmastered. It's a specialty on Chop Shop. Baghead EaSWay.
Hey, hey. My fault, so I gotta show out. Okay. Yeah. Hey, weed on me, keys on me, ay. iPhone 13 on me, ay. Don't spill no drink on me, ay. I forgive my mama and the FNG only. Ay. You say you love me, then why you look at my homies? Ay. You say you love me, baby, why you sneaky link on me? You wanna thug with the drugs, I think I got 3 on me. I got green, I got white, I got orange, it's a bean on me. Graduated with a psych degree, so don't shrink on me. Fuck with me, I'll be gone in a flash. Hey, ex on my shit, who can I trust if it ain't my girlfriend? You say you with me, then stay with me until the world ends. Hey, what's my age again? What them white girls say again? Taylor, shake it off. Hey, new girl handle stick and ball like she play lacrosse. Hey, fuck your feelings, fuck how you thought I came across. Hey, what the text say? 151 drum. Hey, Malibu views keeping her numb, but my weed on me, keys on me, iPhone 13 on me. Hey, don't spill no drink on me. Hey, I forgive my mama and the FNG only. Hey, you say you love me, then why you look at my homies? Hey, you say you love me, baby, why you sneaky link on me? You wanna thug with the drugs, I think I got 3 on me. I got green, I got white, I got orange, it's a bean on me. Ay, graduated with a psych degree, bitch, don't shrink on me. Ay, fuck with me, I'll be gone in a flash. Ay, what they say again? Ay, what's my it's One Direction. Ay, on the way to win. Ay, I got a lady friend. Ay, they'll bring a lady friend in my Mercedes Benz. Ay, if you got beef, baby, we could make amends. Ay, we could make ends meet. Ay, she said she's her BDA, that's cool. Ay, she says this is PD. Yo, I lost it. Hey, that's a drink on me, bitch.
Hey, you gonna have to drop a song. You gonna have to drop a new song every year the iPhone drops, bro.
iPhone 14 on me.
iPhone X.
iPhone 14 on me.
iPhone 20 on me.
Alright, shit.
Man, I had that shit too. Man, I had that
That's fire.
shit.
Yeah, that was hard.
that
bro.
song.
That was hard.
Man.
I was like, that brought me back to the conversation of you having parties down in LA. I was just like
Man.
picturing a big ass house and this shit just bumping.
Yeah, that song
you know?
sounds like LA.
Yeah, that do. Honestly, that's fire as fuck.
Yeah.
Man, shout
work-
to Bag. That I definitely gravitated to that beat. I was like, yo, what is this? This shit is like moody, but it slaps. You know what I'm saying? I could get my shit off.
Yeah.
But wait till that whole thing drop and you gonna hear the whole thing. You understand?
Yeah, it's
iPhone
tight. I feel like it's a
13 on me.
different, like you said, like it has like the trap kind of drums, but the sample sounds nothing like trap music at all. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's fun stuff.
So what's you know, we got some, just heard a new newer work in the works. So just on that vibe, what's next for you guys? What do you guys see for the future for yourself?
Shit. Well, we shooting the Dice Roller video tomorrow, actually.
Yeah.
You feel me? This podcast will probably be up after that, so can't really tell you to pull up. But no, we really just trying to push this project. I know for me at least, you feel me? Like I'm trying to make it a focus on us just to push the project, because you know, like I said, it's really high quality. You feel me? I feel like it deserves to be heard
For sure.
But outside of that too, I'm working on other projects with other producers and everything like that. I'm trying to drop at least 3 projects this year, like EPs. So one is already out the way, so 2 more,
Nice.
2 more to go. You feel me? But that just focus on content. You feel me? Content is just as important as in music now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, you both seem to wear many hats in your whole production behind yourselves, and topic we touched on last episode, and just kind of a common thing I like to talk about is knowing where to apply yourself and where not to, even though you might have a certain skill set that you can use. So like what's kind of a routine for you guys, and what do you guys focus on and leave, and what else do you focus on leaving for other people to do for you?
That's a good question.
Man,
I used to, like I said, I used to engineer for people, right? And record people. So I used to just come into every song I made with the mindset, I'm about to record and engineer myself, And like, that was cool, but it just took way more time than I needed it to take, I'd be mixing a song for a hella long because I'm biased, and I'm always like, oh fuck, I don't like this 1 second. But I came back to the Bay and I just was blessed to meet really talented producers where I could just record my shit and kind of give them some tips, but like they kind of like take over, and that really made my love of music, it kind of like resurfaced my love for music, because it was like less like a job, where I was doing like the tedious remedial shit that other people already love to do and can do. And I was just like, let me just try to stay in my bag of just recording, writing, and singing,
I feel that.
And that really elevated my pen game because I got to write for triple the time, When you don't got to engineer, you could be like, all right, what's the next beat? Let's go.
Right.
Factual.
So that helped me a lot for sure.
Yeah.
Factuals.
That's tight. Actually, speaking of people taking that role, I know that you and Harry, or you and Made by Harry,
Right.
Work a lot together. And like Doctor is out, it's a single, amazing song. I've heard some
Thank you,
unreleased
bro.
stuff, and it all sounds like really, really dope. And I wanted to ask, like, I mean, you spoke on it a little bit in terms of like logistically working with a producer that you can really lock in with is important for you, because it kind of frees up your
Right.
just like how much effort you got to put in.
Right.
But on the creative side, for both of you, but first with you and Harry, how important is that relationship to you?
Man, really important, I guess. I don't know though. It's crazy. I met Harry and I just started working with him the first day I met him, so I guess not that important,
Nigga moved in for sure.
He didn't know what I wanted to sound like or nothing really, but yeah, I was in there. But that was mostly because we were just working off the love, he just came back from Colorado and shit. I just came back from LA too ish, so it's kind of like we're both just trying to see what we can make shake. But even with Harry, like it's a learning process. Like, he thinks I sound good certain ways, and I'm like, I think I sound good certain ways, So it's just like sometimes I take a back seat and I'm like, oh, I believe you, and then sometimes I'm like a little more hands on, like, nah,
Well, that's the importance of having like a actual working relationship with someone, because then you can actually have the space to like, oh, I think this. No, I think like when I work with A1, there's a lot of back and forth. 'Cause, like, I think we shouldn't do that job. I'm like, I think we should.
Right.
Yeah. Let's 2 or 3 times. You're right.
Right,
Let's move on,
right.
Where
Y'all
sometimes
shit
if you just like
always comes out
hop in the
fire.
booth with someone and y'all work like once every 6 months, it's like it's tough to really get that across.
Yeah,
bro.
you gotta be comfortable with anybody you collaborate with, whether it be your producer, your engineer, another artist. Like, you gotta be comfortable. You feel me? But it's funny because I was just talking to O about this because I wanted to book studio time like a week or 2 ago, and I was telling him, like, I just can't go to any engineer. You feel me? Because this is when I do my music, for me, it's like a lot of my music is deep. You feel me? I'm going into my, past memories and really pulling from that. So like, if I'm about to be vulnerable, I need to make sure that I'm comfortable enough to be in that to be in that type of headspace with you, with you around. But what you about to say?
No, you go ahead.
No, this is really important though. You feel me? Just like EaSWay said too. You feel me? Just like you want to be comfortable enough to bounce ideas off each other. And not think that somebody gonna be too sensitive to feedback or anything like that. Like it plays a huge role, you know.
Yeah, I think one more question before we move into the last little segment, just because I know y'all got a lot of things to do in your busy music days. Speaking of like feeling comfortable to record on Duffel, it really feels like you're bringing up a lot of emotion. It seems like you're close to tears. You're really like bringing your emotion out of your chest into the mic. Where did you record that?
Nigga was actually crying recording the verse. It was crazy. I had to tell him, bro, it's okay, bro. We got you, bro. We good.
You were crying in the studio.
He gave me a shoulder to lean on.
I'm just playing.
That would have been sick. That's a great story.
Nah,
nigga, my nigga was not crying, bro.
Crying.
He was rapping hard, going crazy. Pause.
Yeah, man. We I actually, so I'm gonna be real. We had heard Bean like right before actually. You feel me? He had dropped some shit, and I'm a huge fan of Bean. Shout out to Bean. And
shout out to Bean, bro.
And we was at Ade's. Ade and Bean work together a lot. And like I just heard the emotion he put into it. You feel me? And I'm like, damn, I want to make some shit like this. And so we heard it. So Ade like knew exactly like what to do when on Splice, got the sample and everything. And at that moment in time, it was a lot of shit really going on. You feel me? So like I was really pulling from some shit. And
being human.
Yeah, being human. And that's just what we had,
That's tight.
But yeah, I like that song a lot, like really, just because I felt like that was a good balance of me rapping and also like somewhat singing, a little bit, like in like one part of it, 1 second, but
sometimes I don't know.
And sometimes I don't know, you feel me? But I just put a lot of emotion into it, I was very vulnerable, so I really like that track. But shout out to Ade, man, for real.
That track. Yeah, we needed that track. I think on the project, like
we did.
It balances it out. It balances
Yeah.
it out. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we're at the end. Appreciate y'all coming. We'll do a proper goodbye at the end before we do this. But you want to do Polo Fendi?
Fuck no.
Oh.
Yeah, let's go.
Cut. All right, Polo Fendi, Ozer.
Let's go. Yeah.
stepped out.
Stepped out with it. Stepped out, ayy.
Go crazy.
Hey, look. Hey. Look, I don't know how I got this high. You can see it in my eyes, damn near in the sky. Little niggas throwing shade, hit the boy like I'ma go catch. I don't even know why. And they might be mad that I'm riding this whip with a chick, she a bad little vibe. Young nigga in the game with a name, with a shame. Y'all nigga just look from the side. Ooh, what can I say? I'm a hell of a guy, shit. Too sick, that's a hell of a virus. Big buzz, still a hell of a vibe. Give you my time, that's a hell of a buy, shit. I'm in the club and I look like a mosh pit. Young nigga always up on the fly, shit. Sell game niggas, all that can buy shit. Get rich, boy, go make a profit. Stepped out with the polo on. I smell like Phineas and weed cologne. Ooh, come out, you should tag along. Tell her come through, leave her man at home, yeah. Stepped out with the polo on. I smell like Phineas and weed cologne. Ooh, come out, you should tag along. Told her come through, leave her man at home, yeah.
Hope you sliding my way, baby, we can migrate.
Let's go.
You could bring a nigga.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
You could swing them hips too. Let me see them
Ay,
drop.
shit, I don't even know where I'm at. I just know where I'm trying to put the city on the map. Ooh, spend a minute with the boy, damn near finna love. She say she don't wanna go back. She say a lot of niggas ain't real. I said I know, but a lot of niggas cap. A lot of niggas don't mean what they say. A lot of niggas ain't 100. A lot of niggas just rap. One of a kind shit, baby, I'm different. Walk when I talk, I can show you the difference. Real life boss shit, real life getting it. What they wanna know, it ain't none of their business. Shine so hard, probably fuck the vision. Ride with the boy, I can change how you living. No bullshit, this no sky pimping. Recognize what it is, come get this ism. Ooh, stepped out with the polo on. I smell like Phineas and weed cologne. Ooh, come out, you should tag along. Told her come through, leave her man at home. Yeah, stepped out with the polo on. I smell like Phineas and weed cologne. Ooh, come out, you should tag along. Told her come through, leave her man at home. Yeah.
Hope you sliding my way.
Let's go.
Baby, we can migraine.
Let's go.
You can swing them hips too. Let me see them gyrate. Won't you bring it my way? Baby, we can migrate. You can swing them hips too. Let me see them vibrate.
Hey, that Polo Fendi is the move.
And sometimes it gets hard to choose. That Polo Fendi is the move. And sometimes it gets hard to choose. Sometimes it gets hard to choose.
Man, shout out to my brother, Sion Ray,
Sion
out
Ray.
of Jersey. Feel me? That's him on it. But EaSWay has done a great job filling in for him at the shows. You feel me? So shout out to him, though, man.
Shout out to
That's a
Sion,
beautiful
bro.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah, all good vibes the whole time. Like niggas love that song. Like, man, when I started performing with you, that was the one. Though, every time we did that song, it was like I feel like we gained like, or you gained like 20 new fans. I don't know. That song is just so contagious, bro. It's so good.
You have a highlight song from the chapel set y'all did?
Yeah, what felt the best?
That's a
Polo Fendi.
Yeah.
Polo Fendi?
That was the first. I never came out to it before, and the crowd like went crazy.
Nice.
Yeah,
heat wave.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Heat Wave, yeah. That shit went crazy too, for sure.
Y'all shot that video in LA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lobster went crazy too, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Lobster was wild.
Yeah.
Lots of
But
tight.
yeah, sometimes I be so like, I don't even be knowing what the crowd is doing, bro. Like,
It's weird because like you, sometimes it looks like they not doing anything. Oh my fault. Sometimes it looks like they're not doing anything. You feel me? And then like you look back at the footage and they going crazy.
Right, right.
So I try not to get in my head too much while I'm on stage. You feel me?
Yeah.
But
Like,
Lobster was going crazy though, like from just what folks was telling me after the show. You
Hell
feel
yeah.
me? Like,
yeah. You could definitely judge a crowd off how crazy they look, but that's not the only way to go about it.
Right.
Especially, I can speak from it because I do like beat sets, and like
Yeah.
that's like not the most engaging
right.
performance,
yeah.
unless like you're in like a beat producer showcase, and then it's
Right.
like then
Yeah.
you got people
Everyone
going,
knows. What's going on. Yeah.
But like I've done hella beat sets where like I'm the only producer doing the performance,
Right.
and sometimes I'm like, damn, like they weren't jumping, but obviously not. But then when you get off stage, like people who like I remember seeing people who were just like way in the back, they're like, yo, that shit was crazy,
Yeah.
but they're just standing the whole time like this. You know,
Yeah.
so it's like people are just like they're taking it in. Some people dance, some people
Yeah.
don't. You know,
People take it in differently.
yeah.
You feel me?
But y'all said energy was high, so.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Hey,
Fuck
shout
yeah.
out.
And that has to do with like the like y'all said, y'all picked songs that had meaning, but it also let people
Right.
dance.
And y'all have backup for it too. Like you brought Harry out. You know, you had other
Yeah.
people playing instruments.
Harry,
like,
Dez, KJ.
Yeah, dude.
Super dope
Other
live
singers
Kind of the
coming out.
Avengers, bro.
Yeah, come on now. That wasn't. It actually wasn't supposed to be like that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no, we.
It wasn't at all.
Just kind of happened.
Nah,
Vaughn, too, of course. Vaughn say, hey, man.
yeah, Vaughn. He with us all the time, but it was just supposed to be. It was supposed to be just them doing an acapella going in a heat wave, and then when we got to rehearsal, they just was playing shit and we was rapping like, and we was like, this sounds sort of good.
Yeah.
And we
That's
just
why
like,
good musicians go a long way, 'cause they can pick up on anything hella quick. You know?
Yeah, man.
Harry had the whole idea for the intro. Like,
Oh yeah,
It's
my
crazy.
God. That
he sent
Explain
Vaughn.
the intro.
So we intro with a song that me and Harry have coming out called "Set It Off." Right? Obviously, that's like a good intro title. But he juiced it up even more. Right? This nigga had this dude had storm like thunder sounds, right? That he found off YouTube and sent to say hey.
Yep.
And then he was like, all right, while these thunder shit is going on, I'm gonna do a little solo right here.
that shit was
I was like, damn, but you snuck a solo into the start of the set.
Yeah,
You a
for real.
genius. I don't know how you did that. But that shit went crazy
It's a
though.
move.
It was a
That's
move,
being a
so-
producer, man.
Yeah.
Right.
That was
For
factual.
real.
Shout out to
Right.
Vaughn though, cause he really like practiced the fuck out that
Yeah,
speech.
yeah, real nigga.
Nice.
That's tight, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of it, right?
Yeah, we're getting to the end of it.
There was a KKK question on there that I feel like wasn't brought up. I'd
No,
love
that
to
was when I
address it.
asked about like what is the
Yeah, fuck the KKK.
how y'all feel about the KKK?
Whatever.
No, because he has a lot about the
dude,
KKK.
I was like,
Fuck the
Satchel,
Klan, man.
delete all this KKK
No, sir.
shit off the dog.
KKK, yes
The
or
hills
no?
on God knows, sir. No, but we also talked about it on He said dice rolling. He's talking about
That's the one I'm
used to hang from, got him hung up. Now
Yeah,
when the
yeah,
money
yeah.
call, I'm gonna pick up.
Yeah.
Cause nah.
That's why I was kind of not questioning, but just like wondering, you know, like sometimes it feels like it's just like
Yeah, bro.
good
David
vibes.
Duke is a bitch. If you got a cross that's like an X in your crib with stars on it, you a clown. And if you in the South and you still holding down the Confederacy, nigga, you lost. Nigga, you done lost hundreds of years ago. It's over.
Know when to call
It's
it
over.
quits.
You look like a
We
square.
here, nigga.
We here, nigga. We outside, nigga. Your wife is vibing, nigga. Come on. Slide to the show. You understand me? We got some motion, nigga. We don't need all that bullshit around us.
It's a heat wave,
Yeah,
bitch.
it's a heat wave.
Come on now.
All right,
That nigga wild.
KKK, David Duke.
You feel me?
You got any final words for the audience before we log out here?
Man, go slap on you, man. And if you don't, you slipping, bro. You missing out for real.
You go slap that shit.
Slap, don't slip.
And
Slap, don't slip. Yeah. that
thank
part.
you to everybody that's been rocking. Thank y'all for having us. Like,
course.
this is
Yeah,
a dope
thank
ass
y'all.
setup.
Of
Proud of
course.
you, Bag and JIMA. You feel me?
Thank
It's
you.
dope as hell. But
All love.
Thank you.
yeah, man. Let's get it.
Yeah. Tune in for the next episode. This was the Chop Shop, and we'll see you next time.